Welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to be looking at data types and variables. In our last tutorial, we learned how to set up qbasic on our computers. So we are going to continue and look at data types and variables. Now, before we look at data types and variables, we will be learning how to save properly the source code we are writing on our machines. So over here, when you open qbasic 64, I want you to create a new folder. You can call the folder whatever. I'm going to name my code. Now this is where you are going to be saving all of your source code. After this, you can launch the qbasic application. Alright, so qbasic application is launched. The first thing is, what is a data type? Every piece of information in programming has what we call a data type. So every piece of data has a data type. So for example, if you are looking at a program to calculate the age of a person, age is going to take a particular information, and that information would have a particular data type. For instance, age would take a number 10, 20, 30. Age can never take 10.5. So numbers that do not have a decimal point are called integers. So integer is the first data type. There is another type of data called string. String is just a sequence of characters. And an example of variable that will take a data type of string is your name. Alright, so that is how data type works. So let's look at how to declare variables and then associate them with data types. The first variable we are going to be declaring is your age. Now you type age, then you put a percentage sign. This percentage sign denotes that age is an integer. So age is equal to, then you can write 10. So in this line, we have declared age and we've assigned it a value of 10. We can also declare a variable called first name. You end it with this dollar sign. This dollar sign denotes that first name is a string. So you can type in a string here, which is Victor. Now, there is something peculiar about strings. Strings are always enclosed in quotation marks. So if you don't bring your quotes, you are going to get it wrong. Now, there are two ways of declaring variables. This is the first way of declaring a variable. And this one is very simple. So the variable name followed by the data type, and then equals to, you can initialize it to the value. The other type of data that we'll be looking at is floats. A float is simply a number with a decimal point. Now, floats can be defined only in qbasic 64. Other versions of qbasic will not do not support floats. So I'm using qbasic 64. So how do we declare a float? The first way is just to type let's say amount is equal to, but then you need to put these two asterisk or pound signs to denote a float. Then you can say 10.5. okay, this is how you declare a float. Okay, so let's just print out to see the results. So we can print age, put a semicolon, then you print first name, and then the last one is amount. Okay, so let's run and then we will see the results for ourselves. So over here we have 10 Victor 10.5. That is perfect. So that is how you declare variables. Okay, there is a different way to declare variables. Okay, so I'm just going to indicate a comment here. So I'll say rem, first method of declaring variables. Okay, so let's look at the second method. So I'm going to rem. Rem is simply a comment. It means that whatever you type after the keyword rem will not be executed. So I'm just going to say rem, then I'm going to say second method of declaring variables. Now in this particular method, you need to use the keyword dim, D-I-M. So if I want to declare a variable called food, I have to say dim food. Then you indicate the data type. So you can say dim food as a string, So this particular statement has declared a variable called food. However, the variable has not been initialized. So if you should print out food, you are going to get 0, okay, or you get nothing. So I can now initialize food to, let's say, rice in the next line. So this is the second way to declare a variable, okay. With this way, you dim the variable name and then you indicate as string, or it can be as integer. So let's declare more using the second method. So I'm going to say dim mark as integer. I can now say mark is equals to 95. The last one, I'm going to declare a floating point number. So I can say dim balance. Let's say the balance left in your account as float. Now mind you, if you just dim balance as float, you're going to get an error. So you need to put this underscore over here, okay. So if you do this, you'll not get an error. So it's just a heads up for you guys. So whenever you are declaring floats this way, make sure to bring an underscore first before. You can then initialize balance to be equal to 100.97. So we can print, but before we print, you normally want to clear the screen before you print. So how do you clear the screen? You just put CLS. Then we can print our new variable. So I have food, I have mark, and then I spelled balance wrongly, but it's okay, it's a variable name. So after this, you just run and you save. So you get rice. The output, we have rice 95 and then 100.75. So what you are seeing here is our source code, okay. Now the most important thing you want to do is, if you notice here is called untitled, that means you haven't saved your file. So to end this video, we are going to learn how to save your file. So you just click on file, you go to save, and then make sure to select the particular folder, my code. You realize the path has been updated, then you give your file a name. So I'm going to call it Datatypes, and then you can click OK. So the file has been successfully saved. So thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you.